our More Perfect Union series, we're introducing you to an Illinois man who's on a mission like no other. He wants to learn what unites Americans. His name is John Inserra. He walked across, listen to this, 6 states, stopping in small towns, hoping to find out what people have in common. So a small support team traveled behind him in an RV that served as his home base at night. He began in West Hope, that's in North Dakota. Then he walked through South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma to his final destination in the aptly named town of, I like this, Hope, Texas. Omar Villafranca caught up with Inserra near the finish line.
6 states, 75 towns.
Day 93.
And nearly 1,700 miles.
It's going to get warm, right?
That's how far John Inserra traveled by foot, walking on highways and back roads, sometimes 20 miles at a time.
How did this idea come into your head?
I started to work on the retirement and what I was going to do next. I said, what do I really love to do? What have I gotten really good at? And what has purpose? And so when I put those 3 things together, this walk came to life. There was also the election going on. And so I had the opportunity to combine all of these thoughts with what I was watching happen in the country.
What were you seeing that made you want to do this?
Too much negativity. If we have strength on both sides, if they could come to the middle and have a conversation and focus on maybe what we have in common, I wanted to do something that could bring that back.
He set a path straight down the middle of America, what he calls the gut of the country.
It's an uncommon path, but it's on common ground. And if we can encourage people to walk to the middle and find common ground as a nation, we can bring a voice to that. That may start a conversation.
He made his way to businesses and bars.
So cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stopping anyone who would talk.
So I've walked in North Dakota.
Did you really?
Sharing his mission and asking their perspectives on unity.
Right? We're walking to the middle, to find some common ground.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming through.
How have people opened up to you in your journey?
We were invited into people's homes. Dick and Judy McQueen. I'm walking to White Lake, South Dakota, on a farm road. Dick pulls up in a tractor, bigger than life, sort of a John Wayne type character, and he asks me if I need any help. I tell him what I'm doing, and he says, young man, I want you to go sit over there with my dog, Ella. I got to go deliver this hay. I'm going to be back in a half an hour, and I want you to come in for supper.
You've gone into a complete stranger's home.
Yes.
After they invite you to eat.
Exactly.
He was out there just spreading this message as far as he could about walking across America.
Among those strangers was Josh Rogers, a business owner in Aledo, Texas, who felt a connection.
Do you think this is what the country needs? To be able to sit down, have a beer or a cup of coffee, and have a conversation, even if there's differences?
Absolutely. When you sit down like we are right now, I mean, there's just a connection, right? And that's something that, when you're hearing opinions on TV, radio, wherever, you don't literally connect with somebody.
Despite the divisions, Inserra believes Americans have more in common than they think.
Are you finding more similarities or more differences?
More similarities. And I think we have more in common than people are willing to admit. You might not solve anything, but the fact that you took the time to hear the other side, you're going to be a little bit different.
What have you learned about yourself in this?
I've learned that listening is probably the skill that is the most important. And when you slow things down to the pace of walking and you are able to just listen, the absorption of what you're getting is so much stronger.
Turns out people can find common ground with a few simple steps. For CBS Mornings, Omar Villafranca, Aledo, Texas.
That's right, Mr. Inserra. We thank you, Omar. We thank you, too, for bringing that story. Maya Angelou used to say that we are more alike than we are different, but the differences are okay, but we are definitely more alike.